Welcome to the Seeing in the Dark podcast, the podcast for new ways of leading and doing business. No more separation between money, power, and leadership, and being a deeply spiritual human being. Seeing in the Dark is about walking paths that have not been walked before and truly making a change in a world in which old ways are crumbling. My name is Nicole CEO of a multiple six-figure soul-based business, and here to take you into the mysteries of purpose, power, intuition, and soul-based leadership. May you embody your own unique essence so deeply that your vibration naturally teaches, inspires, and assists others. Let's dive in. Welcome to the Seeing in the Dark podcast, and welcome to this first episode of this brand new relaunch. I'm so excited because me and the team have been working really hard on this rebranding so that we can come to you from a completely different angle now, which will make it possible for me to connect with you every single week. I'm really, really excited. And if you don't know me yet, my name is Nicole and I will be your host on this podcast that will be a dive into the mysteries of purpose, power, intuition, and soul-based leadership. Now, in short, just a little bit about myself. When I was 7 years old, my father took me and my sister to our first intuition course. And it was a course in which we would learn about dreams, about how to set an alarm by intention, about how to connect to the colors of someone's energy. And in that way, I got introduced to spirituality and intuition from a very young age. But it wasn't until I was 18 that I was really coming from my own intention into the world of the new age, of spirituality, of temple trainings, and really started my path that is now 18 years. Since I was 18, I'm now 36. 18 years of exploring so many different modalities. I went from temple trainings in India to body work and massage in the Netherlands to authentic relating to mediumship trainings of years and years and years to so many different modalities that I've been studying. And the reason I share this with you is because I want you to know that I'm a multi-passionate woman. And the women that come into my world, in my programs, in my masterminds, in my mentorships, most of the time are also multi-passionate women. And the beauty of being a multi-passionate woman is that you never probably found one modality only that you could fully land in. That was true for me. Every time where I would go really deep, because that was my way, I would go really deep into one modality and study with them all the ins and outs. And then I would find a natural completion, and another modality would pull my attention. I would study very deeply with them, and with some I would maybe study very briefly. But all the way up to today, it led me to this very unique blend of different qualities, different gifts that found their way into one business, into one mission, being to see a world filled with soul-based leaders who are deeply guided through the power of their intuition, synchronicities, and magic. They are deeply surrendered to that deeper intelligence that has got their back in each moment. And so for me, a new world can create itself through that connection with the mystery. Because if we look at what is already here and what has already been done, then we only continue what has already been known, right? And I feel that through our connection to the mystery, through letting the mystery be our guide and letting the mystery be our strategy, a new world can arise from that. And I feel that through that deep communion with the mystery, our world can find itself back into alignment through new ways of leading and having business. And so I'm super excited if you are listening now and you feel like, hey, I'm actually a multi passionate woman. Then one of the challenges that you might be facing is that it can be challenging to find that one core message of what it actually is that you're doing, because you are doing this, but also you're doing that, and also you're doing that. And so it took me multiple years to really spiral into the center of that and feel the essence of what I'm doing, because there is an essence underneath everything that you're doing. There is that one core essence underneath every passion that you're having. And so when I work with my women in the programs, that's one of the things that I love, 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 like explore and teach around, to find that one core message, because it has brought me so much relaxation to land in that one core message while being able to stay that multi-passionate woman. So when it comes to this podcast, Seeing in the Dark, mm, maybe I want to share a little bit about the name, because Seeing in the Dark points towards probably my biggest passion, and that is in connection with the dark. I have a deep, deep, deep core love for darkness, and that expresses itself through me spending a total of 26 days in complete darkness, spread out over 4 retreats. Most of them in Mexico, Mazunte, Mexico, where I would spend time in a room that is completely dark. And it's the place where I find the deepest sense of home within myself. No distractions through the vision, no distractions through the hearing, like no distractions whatsoever, but fully being with me and whatever wants to reveal through that. And so when I had my first dark retreat in 2018, which was a 12-day and night retreat, I found that sense of home through the dark. And I find that the dark provides such a deep meeting place with the mystery. And the mystery has a darkness to it as well, right? It's the mystery is something that we cannot explain necessarily. So the dark, it holds that mystery. The dark also has many shades. Like we have the shade, which is the most known, of shadow. And I have a deep love of working with our deepest shadows, because I know that the challenges that we are presented with in our lives, when worked through them, they become our embodied transmission of our work for tomorrow. So I love working with shadow. I love working with the dark. I love explore all the shades of dark, from the void all the way up to shadow, all the way up to our deep primal nature, to our power. And I love to explore the integration and purity that is at the essence of the dark, that is at the essence of power, that is at the essence of purpose, of intuition. And so in this podcast, you will be receiving direction, inspiration, guidance, and tools on the path of the unfoldment of your mission and purpose. And I do so through working a lot through the mystery and intuition. And I love to combine that with strategy and practical business tools, because I found that my business, Women of Ancient Futures, only really took off when I dared to bring structure in the business as well. So it was when that union of the masculine in my business, the structure, the strategies, the planning, came together with the feminine in my business. The flowing, the intuition, the feeling, and the natural organic unfoldment of it. And so on this moment of recording, I'm actually already 10 years, almost 10 years, an entrepreneur. And for the last, since 2020, Women of Ancient Futures really took off. So within 1.5 years, we grew from making 2K per month, 2,000 euro per month, to making stable 25,000 euro per month. And so I've learned so much in that whole process of going more than times 10 with my business that I would love to share all those insights with you on this podcast so that you, on your path, in your mission, can implement those things, can grow, can learn, can find inspiration, and in the end, can trust your resonance. Because that's one of the main things of how I teach in my work, is that your intuition and your resonance will always be your main teacher and your main guide. No matter what I am saying or teaching or sharing or anyone else, your inner guide is your main guide, your intuition, your synchronicities, your magic. And so there will be tools for you to find that deeper connection to your intuition, find a deeper connection and trust in how the mystery is always already guiding you. Amazing. Now, of course, there's also many challenges I found on my way, many things that went, like, so to speak, wrong, many things that I've tried out that didn't work, many things that I kind of had to figure out myself. Because let's be honest, when you become an entrepreneur, a soul-based entrepreneur, a heart-centered entrepreneur, there's not really anybody teaching you, right? It's not something that you learn in school. It's something that you kind of have to figure out by yourself and discover along the way. And of course, there's amazing coaches that can help you along the way, but it's not something that we receive from an early age on. For most of us, maybe some of us do, but I definitely didn't. So in terms of the business, in terms of the intuition and the spirituality, yes, but in terms of the business, no. So, what I also really intend for this podcast is that I can share with you how I've been meeting the challenges on my way, what I noticed that really, really helped me, and what I see that the women that I work with feel really supported by. So, this podcast is holding a deep intention for deepening your ability to see in the dark. And I think many of us have fear for the dark because the dark comes with an unknown. It comes with a certain surrender that we need to make. And it points to my favorite quote. It's my absolute favorite quote in the world. And it says, "Put yourself on the altar of something greater and say, 'Sing through me, dance through me. This is the kiss you've been waiting for.'" My absolute favorite quote, because this is exactly what I stand for. It's about placing yourself on the altar of something greater and making space for your body to be spoken, for your body, your soul to be moved, for through that surrender, embodying your own unique essence so deeply that your vibration naturally teaches, assists, and inspires others. That for me is what soul-based leadership is about. So it's through you embodying your essence so fully that you become a walking transmission. And that's the new way of leading. And in my experience, in my opinion, if you ask me, the only way of leading. Because it's through living by example that we become such powerful transmissions, such powerful teachers. And it's also through embodying your essence that you realize that you don't have to become more than who you already are at your core, right? So your process will mainly be about unbecoming who you are not, so that you can become and show up more fully as who you are at your core. So a lot of different things that I've been naming here already. I'm just super grateful that you're here and super excited to dive in. One of the biggest differences with the way I was doing my previous podcast is that I was having guests most of the time, What I will be doing now is most of the episodes will be with me because there is such an incredible amount of topics that I feel deeply excited to share about with you. And then every now and then I will also bring on a guest so that we can also bring like a different voice in and a different topic and maybe different angles and perspectives in as well. So, also, if you have a topic that you feel like, oh, Nicole, I really would love for you to speak about this, then please reach out to me on my Instagram or on my Messenger and send me a message. Let me know what you would like me to share about. And then if that matches the line on which I would love sharing, then I will bring that episode in as well. So let's see if there's anything I wanted to share with you that I haven't shared before. I think one of the biggest shifts that I've been making in the last 2 years, let's say since 2020, is before 2020, I was just living my life, bringing a lot of love and care in studies, in my business, really going with organic flow, organic growth, and actually having this longing to make enough to do whatever I want to do. And I was happy. I could study whatever I wanted to study, I could travel wherever I wanted to travel. And I always felt like I don't really need a lot more. I was also having quite some judgments towards people with a lot of money. And one of them is I had the conviction that I needed to sacrifice my depth in order to make more money. Because I just I just had this, it always feels a little bit weird to say, but I'm gonna say it. I had a judgment about people with a lot of money that they were superficial. And so, my biggest fear of even looking at a longing to make more money was that I would need to sacrifice my depth. And depth is like one of the things that I have been deeply living by, like studying deeply, practicing deeply, like really going as deep as I can within myself. And I think one of the really powerful parts of my teachings today is that you don't have to sacrifice your depth in order to make more money. You can be a deeply spiritual human being and welcome a lot of money into your life. So I stand for no longer having that separation between money, power, and leadership, and being a deeply spiritual human being, because I believe that both can come to union. And I think we see it a lot in the world. When I look at the conscious community, there is so many people that have resistance towards money, judgments towards money. And so when I started to welcome more money into my life, I started to make space, actually. I said to life, okay, if it's meant to grow beyond this, I'm open. If I need to decide to let go of all my money judgments, I will. And I read books and I did studies and money courses and I worked on those limiting money beliefs. And I have to say, 80% of me growing to 2K months to 25K months was money mindset and my deepening to my ability to receive. Those two things. It was deepening my ability to receive and my money mindset. And so I really stand for no longer making that separation, for welcoming more money, power, and leadership, especially with soul-based and heart-centered leaders. Because when we look in the world, how much of the money is now in the hands of toxic, really fucked up leaders? Excuse my language, but like, I believe that the world can change when more of the money is in the hands of heart-centered and soul-based leaders. Because let's be honest, the money system is still here right now. So we might as well dance with it right now and not wait until the whole money system collapses and only then change can come. And there's so many different stories around money. but I believe that we can make a change in the world. And maybe you've noticed it also that I work with women. And one of the things that research shows about women and money is that women, when they acquire wealth, they tend to share it with the people around them. They tend to share it with their communities. They tend to support their communities in a way that it will benefit the whole community as well. And so there's so many reasons that I will go deeper into in the future episodes. But for today, I just wanted to give you a short introduction of what the Seeing in the Dark podcast is about, and a short introduction on me and what I am about. And hopefully, this introduction can inspire you to tune in and to journey with me over the coming weeks, over the coming months, and dive in together deeper into all these topics. I thank you for listening today. If you feel inspired by this episode, then please share it. And I'm looking forward to dive in with you next week. Much love. Did you receive any inspiration, motivation, or powerful breakthroughs by listening to this episode? Then please share this episode by taking a screenshot and tagging me in your stories at nicole.nima.costeres. I would love to celebrate you, share you in my stories, and it would mean so much to have my work reach more powerful, passionate women like you. Thank you so much, and looking forward to see you next week.